And we are live. All right. So, how's it going, guys? My name is Minix, otherwise known as Andrew. Feel free to call me whatever you guys want. As you can see, we are live with the Odd Frog team. We're going to be talking a lot of things about 112 scale vehicles, toy collecting in general, some other 112 vehicles that have been announced recently, and then most prominently, these guys' absolutely stunning project, the Bandito, and their Odd Frog line that they are going to be getting into. So, guys, if you just want to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Andrew. My name's Kelly, co-founder of Odd Frog Entertainment with my business partners here, Eddie Hermosillo, COO and president of Odd Frog, and Mikey, our communications guy and producer. And yeah, this is the team pretty much.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
So, let's get right into some pickups that we might have picked up. So, have you guys picked up any new action figures or pre-orders at all? We'll start off with Eddie.
Yeah, matter of fact, I just pre-ordered the Mezco Robin. Waiting on that guy. So a big Mezco fan. That's the market we're going for. That's the quality, the level of product we're trying to produce with the Bandito. So yeah, I tend to stick to like the higher end figures, the Mezcos, but the Marvel Legends I've seen in stores, the new Legends 97 wave. They look pretty good. They're all over the internet, but what I have coming, it's the Mezco Robin, so expecting that pretty soon. Be pretty dope.
Awesome. How about you, Kelly?
I mostly collect GI Joes right now because yeah, like Eddie said, I have a teenage daughter and it's very expensive to live out here. Let's see. I don't know. The latest one I got is Shipwreck, which I've got on the prototype of the bike right here. And I never had him as a kid, so I was really excited to get him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He was one that I did want to pick up, but I kind of missed the whole pre-order window, and because GI Joe Classified has become Pulse exclusive in the UK, unless you are there on time to get your pre-orders, you are not getting any GI Joes.
Really?
So
wow.
fast.
They're hard to find here too. Like I can't seem to get them in Walmart. They have them in Target a little bit, and then one of the better places I found is GameStop that has them.
Yeah, our Targets out here seem to be scarce, at least in Southern California. Like I saw a couple of the Marvel Legends, but I mean the shelves are usually bare. There's a few I see usually on some like Facebook groups, and people are like finding stocks in LA area, but like particularly here the LAX area, the South Bay, like it's quite scarce.
I'll see random action figures, especially like Ninja Turtles and sometimes some Marvel stuff in the electronics department in Walmart of all places.
They have that's where they have a collectible section.
Yeah, it's real small, but sometimes they got some pretty sweet stuff.
Yeah, that's where they have like the higher end NECA figures and like the collectibles. They keep them different from, like, I guess you would say, toys.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good segue. Anyway, Mikey, you picked up any new pickups this week? Any pre-orders on the horizon for you?
No, I've just been. I guess I'm a little different than these guys. I don't have any background in toy design, growing up, I collected GI Joes and Hot Wheels and different action figures, He-Man. But I'm more the voice, I guess you could say. So
it's a lovely voice.
Thanks. No, so I've been just nose to the grindstone. I have a full-time 40-50 hour a week job, plus I'm trying to get in my voiceover auditions every chance I get. I just picked up a new audiobook and doing some stand-up. So I haven't bought really anything except for bare essentials in a long time. But I'll tell you what, some of those new Marvel Legends, there's a couple I definitely want to pick up, especially the Gambit.
Yeah, I miss because I work at the same time as well. And when the pre-orders go, I'm either working or I'm extremely busy doing something else. And I miss the pre-orders. I really want to pick up that new Blade figure. I love Blade. He was one of my favorite movies with Wesley Snipes. So I miss that figure. But in terms of my pickups, I tend to get stuff shipped to me because I don't have anything
Obvious,
local
yeah.
to me at all. We don't even have any dedicated stores or brick and mortar stores that carry collectibles anymore, unless you go out of your way to find them. But this arrived a couple of weeks ago, which is the exclusive Chuckles.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's all decked
Yeah.
out in suitcase. Mostly Black Series this week, so I got the Rebels Chopper because I missed that one out on the full wave. So now I've got the
Nice.
entire Rebels wave. Sorry about that. Another Rebels guy, the new Ezra from the Ahsoka series. He's
Just finished that series last night.
I'm gonna ask you how you thought about that, because I've got some interesting thoughts on that series, and this one I could not miss because I love the games. I played both of them, and I've replayed them last night actually, and that is the new exclusive Star Killer.
That was nice.
This figures Sam Witwer's it's just brilliant. I love this guy. But
I heard those
mostly
games were good for that game.
Yeah, I love the Force Unleashed games. But
Yeah.
mostly my week has consisted of just customizing what I've already got. So we'll get into
Speaking
that
of
also.
customizing,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
wanna
I'm
get
probably
into
working
it?
on a couple of action figures as well. I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, in fact, I've got the little quick prototype. This is like a 3-hour print here, guys, but so it's really rough. I haven't even really sanded it that much.
Yeah,
But
so basically
So-
that's the prototype we Kelly has going for the Odd Frog action figure. It's like I wouldn't even say half scale. It's maybe like 2/3 scale. We did it to get the proportions, to see the proportions on the character himself. His thighs, his arms compared to his chest, just to see how it looks, how to see how he feels in hand. So this is the first quick rough prototype of Odd Frog. Comic books coming. We have a comic book coming, and
yeah,
I
can show some of that if we want. I don't know how to share the screen on this, but I guess it's just present probably, right?
Yes, I believe so. But I'm glad to see that you managed to get that 3D scan of my mother-in-law sent to you, and it turned out really glad that turned out good.
I'm assuming she's not a subscriber.
Yeah.
She's a subscriber to How to Annoy Me on a 24-hour basis. But other than that,
No,
we'll go ahead, Eddie. Sorry.
I was gonna say no. Segueing on your customizing thing. I mean, right behind Kelly, like we've been working on the banditos. Customizing is what we're trying to do. What we're trying to bring to the table. In the 1/12 scale scene. So
it's not quite back together, you guys. So I'm gonna be real careful picking it
Please
up.
be really, really careful.
I will, believe me. Oh, and there goes the tire. We haven't got the screws back in it yet. And the back is not fully constructed yet, but
that's the latest Marvel Legends Ghost Rider figure, I believe. Came out a few months back. For scale reference, people can kind of gauge the size. Again, the wheels will be interchangeable, customizable, along with the hood,
and they'll
door
stay
panel,
attached.
trunks. It will
none of
stay
the
attached.
interior is in it right now, except for the seat.
Right.
There's a light up dash that goes in there that Eddie
There's
and
a
I are going to be
console again.
wiring up.
But yeah, we're just again customizing, right? This here is gonna be again the base model offer of what the Bandito base model is what we're calling it, and that's what we're offering on the website. And then once we start hitting our goal, well, okay, this is what you can do with the base model. So it's customizable. So we make it so it's easily. It's you're able to easily take it apart and then customize it, give it a customizable paint job. That's why we went with like a matte black base, so the paint adheres better.
This has
here,
the stock hood.
Yeah, that has a stock hood option that will also be available. There'll be a different grill option available. So the kits that we'll be offering completely change the aesthetic of the car, and you just use the same inner workings, the same base, the same body, the same essential parts of the car you'll be using. And then we have off-road kits. We're working on on an homage to Twisted Metal. We're calling it like Mangled Steel. I think that's kind of cool. So I don't know. We're trying to come up with various concepts. The lowrider, that one, and then we'll have the base model, and then we're trying to get booths in upcoming designer cons here in the local like Anaheim area, LA area. They have booths for designers and toy conventions all the time. We actually managed to secure space. Well, I guess we use it now. Otis College of Art and Design. We were there yesterday. We use the model shop a lot. People come in there all the time from the industry, so we're hoping to, maybe somebody takes a peek. Somebody, we'll see. But yeah, we're on our way. We're getting our boxes back together. We're getting our tables set up. We're getting banners made. So expect a bit more from Odd Frog Entertainment in the upcoming year. Action figures, comic books.
Well, from every time I pop into your guys' live streams and things like that, 'cause you guys have your own podcasts and things like that and your own channel, which will show up again a bit later on. But you guys are putting in a lot of effort and a lot of work into this, and I can see the passion that comes from you guys, and it's nice to see that you're carrying on that spirit that the toy community would want from a brand new company and something that you are offering to this community.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough go, as you know of it. Just because, when we first started out, as many people that follow us know, we were just a contract company. We had contracted to do some plush dolls for a guy that had some San Diego Chargers licensing teams, which is a football team here. And we did those and a couple other little smaller projects for different companies. And then Eddie found this guy that was doing 112 vehicles. He was trying to design this 112 scale vehicle called the 112 Garage. And his name, I'll just leave his name out of it. But we were in communication with him. We never really met him in person, but Eddie reached out and said, hey, you've got a pretty cool start to a design there. We can help you make it all work, engineer it, and make it look, really good. Because his doors didn't even close all the way. It looked like a Lightning McQueen that you could pick up for $12 at Dollar General or something. And so we designed this car. I mean, we spent several months designing it. We paid our engineer in Hong Kong to do all the lights and the wheels. And when it came time to pay us, we kept emailing him and he's like, oh yeah, it's being transferred now. And the money never came for all this work that we had done for him. And finally, Eddie and I just had to call a hard line and just say, we're not going to work with this guy anymore. We're not going to give him our, the design. I had to write the Big Bad Toy Store and let them know that we're not doing the design for them. There's still if you look back in our Instagram, one of our early posts is me explaining to the Instagram community that I can no longer work with the 112 Garage because not only has he not paid us thousands of dollars in design and engineering, he doesn't communicate. So even if he had sent money at some point, it's a little bit late because I can't trust in him later as a business partner, that we're contracting with to communicate, to meet deadlines and stuff like that. Eddie and I just started taking over his kind of platform because, as soon as we get our hands on something, we want to promote it and we want to work hard towards it and get over the goal line. And the guy was just making it impossible for us to do that. So we backed out and went on to finish out our own design that we had been working on and had actually pitched him at some point, and they wanted to go with their own. So fine. So we did our own thing.
That's when the 112 Street Chop Shop was born.
That's right. And, maybe it was a little bit too close to the 112 Garage and name or whatever. We just liked the community. We wanted to be in 112 scale and we wanted to be in action figures somehow. And we saw the vehicle thing as an in, and we knew we could design beautiful vehicles. So, so we just started doing our own, but we got a lot of flack for having been associated with the 112 Garage early on. And I know we still are in probably half the community, which is a shame.
Apparently. So yeah, that's kind of news to me, but
we love them and we want to be part of that community. And, they're kind of what we need to get on board to be able to get it over the goal line, I think. So, part of our plea coming on stuff like this, and we were on Kill Kauai Cruise show a couple weeks ago, is that, we just want to be as transparent as possible and let people know that, we got just as hosed by that guy as anybody. And, we're think it sucks that people got ripped off by this guy, but it was definitely not us. I mean, you can look at the car that guy had and then look at what we do. It's completely different. And
I mean, I understand the correlation. People maybe think that it was us, like, on the back end, but there are people who know the guy before they even knew
Yeah.
us. They talked to him. He was on other people's lives. He was on other people's before we even got involved with his project at all. Man, I have text messages right here, like, from the guy. They're like all on my Instagram. Like, I have records. I have emails from between us and him, us quoting him what the estimate's going to be to have these things produced. Like, I have all the documentation. Like, we were not 112 Garage. I mean, I don't know how many times we got to plead our case, but we will every single time. We're continuing with the Bandito. We also have the Bad Van coming out pretty soon. We now have access to these huge printers that we have that are available to us because we are alumni from Otis College of Art and Design. So we'll be having the van coming, action figures coming. I mean, we're just again trying to make our little ripple in the industry. Trying to cause our wave and try to stir the pot and apparently we did in a way that doesn't sit well with some, but it's what it is. It's the cards we were dealt, and we're gonna make it happen one way or another. We're not giving up.
Absolutely. I mean, I can see from both perspectives here because I've spoken to you guys quite extensively behind the scenes and up front in front of the community themselves. I can understand where the community comes from in the sense that there
For
is that
sure.
stigma behind the 112 Garage scandal. What happened was, I remember when that first came about, I just saw a random Instagram or Facebook group post about it. It was up on Big Bad Toy Store. I checked it out. I thought, oh, this is kind of
And
cool.
and yeah, the hype was real because he had, he somehow managed to get hype behind him, and I mean, people were all for it. He was the first one, was like, I'm trying to produce these cars, and then I was like, this is a genius idea. We had the ability to improve his product, and then had the manufacturing capabilities to make it happen, which is what he did not have apparently, but maybe he had other ideas and other motives because when time came to pay and get the ball rolling, he just vanished. He skipped out on the design bill, which was over 10 grand. And it stung us all. It stung us all is all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely. I mean, as far as I can tell, and from what research I've done, because even when I first heard you guys, because I'm not sure where I saw it. I saw, I think, a share in a Facebook group as well. You guys popped up this odd frog thing, and it was
Yeah.
a picture of the Bandito, and I was like, this looks extremely familiar. And then I started reading comments, and people was like, are these the same guys behind 112 Garage? And I
Okay.
started looking into it a bit further, and I was like, I can see where people are getting confused, and I can see where people are making the same comparisons. But I can personally attest, and I'm going to ask the community to take this with a pinch of salt because I'm just one voice at the end of the day. I can definitely tell you guys are different. You guys are your own entity, and you guys are blatantly trying to get this actually done. I mean, the proof is sat right next to Kelly, right there. You
Yeah.
guys are putting in the actual work. You're going on live streams. You're actively participating in groups and talking to the community themselves. Whereas, from what I could tell, the 112 Garage guy just drummed up hype, shared it to a couple of groups, and then disappeared without a trace.
Yep.
And took a lot of money on pre-orders. That's the thing. He
Yeah,
took a
I
lot,
do
like,
remember Big Bad getting into a bit of flack for that themselves. It's why
Mhm.
I think even I avoided Big Bad for a while after that.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and it made us feel bad because our designs were the ones that were used to secure that deal with, like, Big
Mhm.
Bag Toy Store and further push the hype in the community. Like, he had his little prototype on there, and I was like, I mean, I was surprised it made it even on there, and it was on there, and he was getting pre-orders, and he made it seem like the hype was beyond real. He had likes, and he was it just his ducks were lining up. I mean, people believed him before they believed us, and we believed him as well. You know, being designers fresh out of school, trying to make it in the toy industry. We were like, dude, this is a train we want to ride. I mean, we obviously jumped on the right train because the 112 scale vehicle, community or niche is now booming. We have 3, 4 companies, making vehicles, and it's just growing. And to know that we were on the forefront of that, trying to start it 2 years ago, but we just, we were hit with this and that and this and that. And I mean, and again, just being as small as we are, we can't compare us to a Ramen Toys, a Valiverse. It's difficult. And again, we're still here, we're still doing our thing and
Yeah.
making our cars.
I can see why people do make comparisons between indie companies and things like that. Like people will compare you to like Ramen and Valiverse and things like that. People naturally will, because a lot of these offerings are starting to come out now, which we'll get into within the stream a
Yeah,
little bit
okay, yeah.
after your guys' presentation that we're going to do in a minute. But also, I personally, again, take this with a pinch of salt, everyone. I don't make comparisons between independent companies and bigger companies like Hasbro and things like that, because at the end of the day, it's going to be different. You're going to have differences. You're going to be similar in some regards because you're going to take inspiration from each other. It's natural. It happens regardless. But at the same time, I urge the community to always do their research into whatever they're pre-ordering, backing, and things like that. Always do the research, no matter what. And again, I'm not biased or anything like that. Yes, I'm somewhat friendly with you guys. I talk to you guys behind the scenes fairly regularly. But as a consumer speaking, from what research I've done with you guys are legit. You guys are collectors yourselves. You're trying to make something work for yourselves. You're trying to set up a future for yourself in this community.
Yeah.
And I think you are doing it at both the wrong and the right time. Because one thing I'm seeing is there's a lot of Kickstarters coming up at the moment. People trying to start their own action figure lines and things like that. But also, you're doing it at the right time because there's a lot of disconnect going on between the bigger companies now. And people are starting to shop elsewhere and think, where am I going to get the most value now? So I think you are right in that sweet spot at the moment.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think we're trying to take a slightly different approach too. And we
Agreed.
Early on, we knew that we wanted to grow into an entertainment company so that we would have kind of creative freedom to tell stories and do things that we, create worlds that we want to create. And so we've got a 64-page graphic novel coming out based around the Odd Frog. It's a slightly futuristic action adventure story. And we want to, that's the stage in which we're going to present this world we're creating and all these characters that we have created, lots of them, actually, several of them. And so, story is paramount in what we're trying to do as well, because, we feel like that is what's going to further allow people to invest in what we're trying to do. And, we really think around the first quarter of next year, maybe the end of January or so, when we start hitting next year's conventions, we're going to have a much wider presentation to our world that we feel is going to support the Bandito pre-order. And I'm also talking to distributors, online toy companies right now. One in particular has my attention. And, so there's a lot going on. We're not going anywhere with the Bandito. We're learning as we go here. We've been able to sell almost 300 pre-orders. We only need 1,500, which is, it may seem like a lot, but it's really not a big number if we could get some more of the community on board with us.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been hitting the website. And so, I just need to figure out how to translate that into the trust that people need to be able to purchase our product. We still have it up for sale where you do not have to pay up front. You can pay later on the pre-order. Basically what that means is you would when you go to secure the pre-order, you'd use the pay offline method. And that's what takes you to the page to just give us your information. And when we get 1,500 of those secured, everyone's going to get an email with their invoice number and what number of the car they purchased. And then we go to tooling. which is basically when we send it to China to have it manufactured. And it will be injection molded, high impact ABS plastic, high quality, really durable, able to take paint, able to take paint over and over again. Thank goodness, this is way more durable than the first one.
Durable as he knocks the car apart.
But it's quality stuff, and soft tires, and but yeah, professionally manufactured. Our manufacturer's been in business for over 30 years. They do detailed tooling, high-end detailed tooling. We met our manufacturer through our professor, Drew, who was an entrepreneur in toys for years and years. And he worked with this company doing promotional toys like Taco Bell, Happy Meal stuff. And so we know what they can bring to the table, and just, working with Johnny and seeing his level of commitment to the project with all the engineering stuff he did, we know what we can deliver, and it's high quality for sure.
Absolutely. So with that being segueing in, you guys were ever so kind enough to send me a beautifully made out presentation. So whoever one of you guys wants to narrate the slideshow, we'll go through these one by one.
That's Mikey, the corporate
I would, but
communications
honestly,
guy.
I had to hop on my phone to do this, so I can barely read it.
No worries, I'll do it.
You probably have a copy with you anyway, Kel.
Odd Frog welcomes you. Step into our sandbox. We are Odd Frog Entertainment, and we are excited that you are interested in learning how we play. Play is what drives us, because we are still kids at heart. At the same time, we are accomplished professionals putting all we've learned to work to help achieve superior play for ourselves and everyone who enjoys our endeavors. That's right, we said ourselves. Our attitude is, if we're not enjoying what we've created, how will anyone else enjoy it? We design fun based on our inner little kid instincts, not by corporate committee. So grab your shovel and pail, step inside our sandbox, and check out our sandcastles. There's no limit to what Odd Frog will create and what you will enjoy. We have a good friend of the team that is a writer, a creative writer, and a legal copywriter, and he wrote this for us. And
can I just interject real quick?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Going back to it, that ties into what Kelly was saying about, how we're creating these characters and creating stories. What's really great about this team is we do have, brainstorming sessions where everything that you're going to see from Odd Frog has a story. There's got to be a story behind every single character, behind every single vehicle. And we actually, whether it be one-on-one or as a group, we'll have brainstorming sessions on, creating this world, creating these characters. And it gets really exciting. So I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, if we create a marble, I want it to have a name, a background, and a hero's journey. So yeah, like Mikey always reiterates it, and it's great because we really do focus on story here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Shall I continue?
Yeah, if you like.
This is our press kit, guys. This is what we're sending out to online fan magazines and stuff like that. So here we go. The Odd Frog ethos. The team at Odd Frog Entertainment is dedicated to the craft of designing and delivering quality toys and entertainment. We specialize in 1/12 scale vehicles and action figures, as well as story content for comics, animation, and more. Odd Frog's vision is built on artisanship and craftsmanship. The goal is to assemble a coalition of individual artists and designers in a select range of disciplines, each of whom excel in a diverse set of skills. It is a group of artists hand-chosen for their personal ethic and quality of work. While we're still in our infancy and our team is relatively small, this is by design. Quality, reliability, and integrity are the pillars upon which we are growing the Odd Frog brand.
And it's definitely reflected within that from what we've seen so far, within what you've said.
Thank you, Andrew.
You are definitely building not just a product, but you're also building a world within itself.
Yeah.
So you've got to go along with it.
If I can add to that, so like just to add to that, it's like definitely we're trying to create a world and a product, right? But I think what we're trying to do different or distinguish ourselves and set ourselves apart is that we really want to design with the customizer in mind, at least the vehicle aspect of it. We want to provide vehicles and as sort of as canvases for you guys to design on, you know. They do have a style, they do have like a character, they do look unique, but they're meant to be a base for you guys to design on, for you guys to customize on, for you guys to be able to tell a story on. That's why these early prototype images are being modified. Like some people didn't like the fact that the logo was there or the red design was in the back or the fact that the word bandito was in the front. So we went ahead and with that information, we took it and applied it to our prototype. So we were gonna provide a different grill that doesn't say bandito. The red logo, the red little stripe in the back, and the red logo are gone. The logo's going on the inner steering wheel you see there, like as a horn, you know. Um, the gear knob is getting changed to a skull. That was a comment made early on that we decided to go with. And, you know, there's minor details that are being modified, you know. We have not gone into tooling yet, so we can increase this, we can change that, we can emphasize this. We'll provide a flat hood that removes that scoop, but you can even see the engine through the scoop. I mean, we're so it's I mean, yeah, we're like I was just trying to emphasize that the difference we're trying to make is that we're trying to provide canvases and blank canvases for customizers. You know, and it's customizable, collectible, and modular.
And when Eddie says tooling, I always kind of want to be clear because I think there's different understandings of what that means. But basically, what it means for us is each one of the pieces of the bandito has to be tooled, which means they take a giant aluminum block and mold the car, you know, the negative space of each piece of the car into a giant aluminum block, which is then pressure injected with plastic to create the professionally manufactured car. So that part of it is very, very expensive. I believe we have 6 pieces of tooling and they're all like over $18,000 a piece. So it's not a small project. Yeah.
So just as I'm a stickler for it, it's aluminium, not aluminum.
Oh,
Aluminium.
here we go with the British correction.
Aluminum.
I can go for that here. I will be fair. It did used to be called aluminum, but it was actually changed to aluminium some point in the 80s or 70s.
Well, the new world's become the old world, I guess.
Sorry, I've
Yeah,
got
customizable,
some
customizable.
a little bit.
Of course.
But
Shots fired from over there in
From across the water.
That's right.
I'm gonna go dump my tea in the bathtub. Hold on.
well,
but yeah,
you guys already did that in 1772, so this is just payback.
That's right. Oh man, Andrew, you're good. You know
Andrew
your
has
stuff.
his history down.
I am a history buff. I will give you
There
that.
we go.
Yeah.
My majors in school.
You gotta have some side of
Yeah, I'm
insight
huge
knowledge.
into American history, especially of that time period, the Revolution and stuff. So yeah.
I did used to live in Ohio for a period of time, hence why I got my Bengals helmet.
Got my John Adams.
That's okay. Nobody's perfect.
Oh yeah, made for
But yeah,
4K
guys.
photography, extra details. You know, it's all there.
Read it out, Eddie.
The 1/12 scale Bandito is an action vehicle. So this term action vehicle, we're trying to create this new movement, this new term, this new wave of action vehicles. Just like Andrew mentioned earlier, have we pre-ordered any new action figures, right? No, we go back to this story back in like the 80s. I believe it was Hasbro. They were trying to sell boy dolls, and you know their design team or their team was like, nobody's gonna buy boy dolls. Boom, action figures were born. So that's what we're trying to create here. You know, action vehicles. You know, the action vehicles are designed the toy collector and the photographer markets and the customizers. You know, customizers are definitely somebody we're targeting. They're made to look like whatever you want them to be. You know, the Bandito is highly detailed features, making it ideal for 4K photography as well as the playability with working lights, hood and trunk, doors that open. The Bandito is perfect example for the attention to detail paid to every project at Odd Frog Entertainment. So yeah, we also took more feedback and we're adding extra details, make it more realism and yeah, story and details. The
Yeah,
details
as
sauce.
I was saying on the podcast a couple weeks ago, a lot of the details are free. So when you see anything like in the dashboard that's molded or there's textures, that's all free essentially because it's built into the tooling anyways. You don't have to pay extra for it. So, you just have to be able to forward think about your design a little bit and realize,
I see. Nice.
visualize
Okay.
what you want in there and take the time digitally to build out all the dashboard and stuff like that. And then you can get
Which is
incredible amounts of
why
detail. You just have to take the time to do it.
Yeah, which is why companies take, or you might hear the term test shots. They take test shots at products. They create their tooling and then they take their test shot, and that's we inject every piece of tooling and we get all our parts, and now we assemble it, and this is our first test shot. So now what can we do different? So now we can modify the tooling, take another test shot, and that's what happens in the industry, and you can, like Kelly said, sometimes that detail is it's just there. You can add detail, remove detail, make modifications, and
But
yeah.
yeah, and before we go to tooling, right? Because that's kind of when it's set in stone when you have your tooling done. We can make all sorts of little adjustments to the car because it's just a prototype. And now we're making our own prototypes here for much cheaper than having them shipped from Duangong. So that's going to allow us to kind of make our own little prototype assembly line and
Yeah, you
get
should
them
see the
out for faster
facility.
and
Yeah.
cheaper. But but yeah, a lot can be changed. We can make it slightly bigger, which I think Eddie's already got his mind made up that we're going to make it slightly bigger just to get the characters in and out a little easier and a little more headroom for crazy looking characters.
And to still have that low pro look, but it's
Yeah.
just a little bigger because I like that sleek. I mean, that sharp edges in the front. I mean, you can't say it doesn't look meaner than just your average car, your average Chevy.
It's badass. I mean,
Yeah.
Building on what Eddie was saying earlier about the whole customizability factor, that's one thing that draws me to this quite immensely. There's one thing that I've been finding recently. My creative juices have been flowing like no tomorrow. Like I'm customizing things that I wouldn't have thought to customize, like my action
Mhm.
figures and dioramas and things. And that's one thing I'm finding a lot with the toy community. People are starting to buy products for as cheap as they can get it, and then they want to customize it. They want to see if they can improve it in any way and make it their own. And I think that's going to be the
That's the
future
key word
of
you said.
the toy industry, where
Make it their own.
people are like, yeah, I like this character, like Snake Eyes, for instance. I've got Snake Eyes right here. I've been customizing this thing. It's the Snake Eyes head and things like that, and some of his weapons and vests. But this is a Valaverse body and whatnot. So to me, I'm creating this as my ultimate Snake Eyes. Like I just painted him, had a new head printed for his damaged look and whatnot. When I want him unmasked.
Oh, nice.
That's some good painting, man.
So I think that's definitely going to be the future of this industry, where people are like, they can take apart these figures and vehicles and things like that and think, right, I want to take off that part and swap it with this part to make it cool and different. So that's one thing I really like about this line.
I think that's why a lot of third-party companies are growing because they're also starting with their base figures. A lot of companies are putting out base figures for customizers, and if you can put out a good base figure, and it kind of gives you credibility to being able to put out some sort of product, some sort of a design. So it's yeah, the customizability movement is definitely on the rise.
Absolutely. And with this, I don't think you guys really need to narrate it per se. If you want to, feel free. But I'll just interject in saying, don't just take our frog's word for it, because they are the company themselves. So yes, they're gonna speak for
Hype
themselves and
ourselves up.
reflect for themselves and be biased that way. But as a consumer myself, I mean, I think I'm already in for 4 Banditos from my last check on my orders, which are more on the way, hopefully. I'll definitely get to that Magic 12.
yeah.
Depends on the price. She'll definitely kill me when 12
Appreciate it, man.
cards all of a sudden come up. So yeah, I'm explaining that. But I've seen your guys' community and people like Clanable and things like that, and when I tune into
Amazing dioramas, man. That guy.
you guys have got some community on your side, and I think it's very nice, and they are enjoying what you guys are putting out. And I think the more you guys are transparent with this community, and the more you go on other people's live streams and get your own word out there, I think you'll definitely get there. It might take a little while longer than you guys might want, and a little longer than I might want myself, because I want this car like yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's
You'll
the
get
thing is thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate that. And I think the thing is it ended up being that we had to fight for our brand. And I think it's really only made us more resolved as a team and a small company. And, now we know how to fight for our brand. I mean, literally right off the bat, exploded in our face. And we created the podcast just to be able to tell that story and stuff. So it's expanded kind of what we do. It's forced us to be transparent with the community, and some good things have come out of that for sure. And so yeah, I mean, we're gonna stay the course, and this is our lifelong dream, and we all kind of have a burn the boats kind of attitude, and we're just gonna stick with it. And we kind of feel like any of that adversity stuff only makes us stronger and more resolved.
Absolutely, and building on that, this last slide I think is the perfect ending to what you were just saying there, Kelly, as well. So, if you guys want to take it away.
Yeah, so here we've got like basically our upcoming projects. So this is what we're going to be revealing next year, which is coming up fast. You've got the Battle Van. It's the next exciting vehicle in our 1/12 scale action vehicle line. It's designed to fit 1/12 scale action figures with a high degree of polish for 4K photography, plus several moving parts, including an extendable machine gun turret. When it comes to action figures, we're not just making 1/12 scale vehicles, we're making figures for them too. Starting off with Oddfrog's very own original comics and animation characters. So here on the left, you can see iteration of Jones Bones. On the right, you can see an iteration of the Oddfrog character. And down on the bottom is a Jones Bones prototype. And then comic books, a thrilling roster of quirky and unique Oddfrog characters are poised to take their place in the pantheon of fantasy icons. Look for comics and animation stories starring Oddfrog, Jones Bones, Dr. Leonov Petrovsky, and more soon.
That's absolutely
Petrovsky.
I should just show that, huh, Mikey?
Yeah, it's badass, dude.
Again, guys, thank you for sending me an early copy of the Bad Van.
Look at that.
They've broken into the warehouse.
What is that? Is that one of those?
Early prototype.
This is the E.T. van from the early 2000s cartoon that they did from Toys R Us when Toys R Us was a thing. That I've customized to be. People will call it a Punisher van, and it basically is. But to me, it's my Snake Eyes van. I've loaded it.
Rad, bro.
Some weapons from Valaverse. I took inspiration from the Bad Van quite a lot with this because I've stuck in 2 chairs.
Yeah. I see the bench seat there on the back. So yeah, it's cool. And then you got the racks. Oh,
yeah, I like the weapons racks.
Bro.
That's a good idea.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Still
inspiration.
Man.
So here is Dr. Leonov Petrovsky after he transforms into our first kind of creature baddie.
Villain.
You can see the detail, and behind him here is this AI computer construct. But he kind of transforms into this hulking eyeball creature because he's a nano engineer that was working on optics. But yep.
Extra optic DNAs.
Just building this drawing, just because it's stunning art, by the way. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you very much.
This reminds me, I'm not sure if it is NECA or not, but I was in a store called B&M, which is called Bargains and Max, I think.
That's what I was going to say, show that.
And it reminds me of a turtle set that I saw in there. It's like this big box. There's like 4 figures. I think it comes with like 2 of the turtles, a shredder, and a ninja. I think I
Mhm.
can't quite remember without seeing it. But the artwork is very similar. It's all in like this black and white graphic panel line, like
Yes.
comic style that it was.
Zoom in on that. I mean, sometimes you can't appreciate the detail when you're. I mean, the way Kelly captivates like detail with these negative space and black. It's like I'm telling you, I compare him to McFarlane in a way a lot of the time, and that's one of his like favorite artists, idols of all time. So it's like when I see it, this looks like dark comics. I mean, the profile on Frog on that first one. I mean, it's just gnarly, bro.
Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate that, my brother.
It's absolutely stunning artwork. I can't wait. Is it going to be colored in, or are you going for the old school classic black and white
No,
style?
I'm probably gonna do both because I love the Frank Miller Sin City stuff. I love black and white when I was kind of teaching myself illustration before I went to college and stuff. It was kind of few and far between where you could see the sketch work of the artist in the black and white stuff. So I kind of want a version of both, but color plays an important part of the story actually with Carl, who's kind of like a HAL 9000 AI nano construct. And he's like a color, he glows a certain color, and then the serum actually changes color at a certain point in the story. So color is going to be important to it, and I'd really like to get it to color, but I also want to have a black and white version that we can get out there, you know, maybe even before the color version.
Well, and like you said, the Frank Miller Sin City-esque, having just certain colors here and there, I think would be pretty badass.
Oh, that would
Yeah,
be yeah.
I do want a limited like color
A
palette.
little green here, black, white, and
exactly.
green. There you go. Yeah, some dark greens. That would be cool.
I think it'd be really cool to do a sort of like a limited black and white variant run. I think that'll be.
That's what I'm saying. McFarlane does it all the time. He does black and white variants, and
Sign me up for that pre-order, Kel.
Right on.
I'm gonna take 5 copies of each, so go
Yeah.
with all my backgrounds.
So yeah, it's like I don't want to just whip out a comic. You know, it's important to me to draw all the backgrounds and the detail that I love to look at as a kid. I mean, when I would look at McFarlane's like just garbage, you could just stare at it for an hour and find all these different things. And then, you know, later I kind of went on to Greg Capullo, who took over Spawn for Todd McFarlane. And, you know, he was a little more technical, I think, with his illustration. He understood anatomy a little bit better than McFarlane. And so
but his stuff is exaggerated. I think it's definitely
oh,
stylized.
for sure. It's definitely stylized. But I mean, his anatomy is much more on point than,
more right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's what she said.
His anatomy's on point.
But no, I want to have. I don't want to put out crap, you know. So it's some things you can kind of move through quickly because you're not building the watch. Some things are a watch, and you have to sit there and get it right. So
Absolutely. Just a little bit over what I'm going to call the halfway point in the stream for a minute. So I'm just going to have a little minute ramble to myself here. It's kind of important to me, so if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
One thing I hope you guys are looking in the description. Not only is Oddfrog's store link in the description as well, and I'll plug those socials in a little bit later when I re-edit the stream and re-upload it. But you'll also notice just below that there is a donation link. Now, philanthropy is something that is quite important to me because I myself am what I like to call myself a philanthropist. So there is a charity link for a donation for a charity called Go Together. Now, Go Together is a Scottish-based charity who primarily help struggling families and their kids to arrange for any essentials that they might need, whether it be household essentials like toiletries, food, and things like that.
awesome.
And sometimes they even take these kids for day-out trips. So there's a donation link down below. I think it's a £10 donation, but I think it will allow you to set your own donation. So you guys feel free to check it out, and if you can, please do donate to them. or if you live local enough to them, you can go down and volunteer yourselves. They are lovely, wonderful people. I've spoken to the organisers of that charity, and what they are doing is absolutely amazing. So any donations that are made to them would be greatly appreciated as well.
That's fantastic,
Definitely.
Andrew. I applaud you, man. That's really cool.
Thank you very much.
For
Like I said,
sure.
being giving back to communities and things like that, such as what you guys are doing with your company and whatnot, it's very important to me. So
On a different level. Yeah, of
I
course,
wanted
man.
to put something in the stream that isn't just going to be benefiting me, because whilst it's an absolute privilege and honour to have you guys on here, I like to give back to other communities and things as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
with that being said, you guys are going to be known as the 112 scale vehicle guys. But as Eddie was talking earlier, there are some other companies that are doing some 112 scale vehicles.
So many vehicles.
Instead of
So many.
you guys talking as companies, we are now going to ask you guys to think of yourselves as just consumers now. So we're all just consumers. So
Oh,
Absolutely.
should I change hats? I might have another one around here.
So there are so many vehicles.
Real quick, my mom gets me GI Joes for like Christmas and birthday because I'm like, I'm a kid again and I'm in this industry. I'm like, no, send me GI Joes, and I really wanted Beachhead, but he's like $70-$80 now. And she's like, well, I'll get him for you. I'm like, no. That's, technically my competition now. I'm not paying that much for a GI Joe.
Absolutely. So there's going to be so many vehicles coming out. So let's see who we've got coming up first. One of Eddie's favorites. So Mezco had revealed during their MezCon a couple of weeks ago, I think it was now, maybe a week or two ago, their Rumbler or something like that, I believe they're calling this. It's going to be a 112 scale army Jeep truck thing. So what are your guys' thoughts on this, and how much do you think this is going to cost? Because this will have that Mezco premium price tag on this.
Yeah. We can't hear you, Eddie.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, this thing is pretty damn rad, right? Like I'm a huge Mezco fan. I mean, it's kind of what got me started into collecting was the world of Mezco and how they created their own character, Rumble Society. So Rumble Society is their own IP, their own intellectual property. They have various licenses for like DC and various characters and Batmans and Spider-Man, Supermans. They have, I mean, X-Men. But yeah, the Rumble Society is their own IP, and this is, I guess, it's their. I'm assuming it's for Gomez. Gomez is their main character, but I mean, this thing is rad. I think it's obviously gonna have lights. Like Andrew said, it's probably gonna have that Mezco premium price. When you consider that each of their figures goes for over $100, just about, or close to $100, I would say the vehicle would be close to like 250-ish, 300 maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's cool. See, some of these details here are part of like what we're trying to include as kits. Oh, never mind. We're consumers.
Yeah.
But this thing is badass. I love the rubber tires. I love this. It scales. It looks like it scales well with the Rumble Society figures and the 112 scale figures they provide. The lights, I can only imagine the interior details because it might even come with accessories and, for all we know, interchangeable parts. They did have the new, what was it called? The Void suit. It's like this big mech suit, and I
Yeah.
think that was like $350. So I'm gonna price the car right, maybe even close to like $300, right around whatever that mech suit was.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably 325. If
Yeah.
because you can look at this
Like $299. Boom. Yeah.
and
Like,
immediately see that it's got more to offer than the Engine of Vengeance. And so if I was like a competing company, I would definitely, if I had a bigger vehicle with a lot more detail like this, I'd feel like you could price it right around that, and people are actually going to see the quality in it just because of the detail. And
having the Mezco name, you're right. If you price it right around the Engine of Vengeance and your Mezco instead of Hasbro, and then you're like, well, if Mezco can make this at the Hasbro price, like what, it's
Yeah.
like boom, like
it's got a
you're right.
top, middle, and a bottom, which is
I'm just
important.
curious to see how much room there actually is on the inside. How
For the
many figures?
figures, I would
how many
say that
figures?
one fits easy 4, maybe 5, and then one in the turret.
I'm gonna say you can see Gomez just sticking out the side. I think he's Ace Venturing it right here for now.
Obviously all
He's
photoshopped,
got the
but
blinds on it, and then you've got. I'm not sure who his character is. I
that's
think it's
Death
Black
Adder.
Viper or something. Death Adder.
Death
That's it.
Adder, yeah.
I was thinking Black Viper for some reason.
Because he's a
sticking
Black
outside.
Viper.
But yeah, I think it's a nice looking vehicle. I'll give it that. I mean, I'm in for it as long as that price is okay. If it's anything above 300, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to be on the speculative side here because they've only just teased this. This is all they've put out for it so far.
Yeah, just a picture. That's it. This one picture.
Well, and it's interesting to me that it's very similar to the Valaverse in the sense that it's a military vehicle, it's an SUV type thing, it's armored. It looks, similar to me in that vein.
We're getting to that.
Exactly.
I just hope it's not a Kia or a Hyundai, otherwise someone will steal it.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's all electric.
I'd like to see, given that it's Mezco, and if they want to warrant the premium Mezco price for me as a consumer myself, I'd like to see it come with at least a driver figure, such as what
I was just gonna say that it might come with. Yeah, you might be, maybe.
Mezco is known for throwing in a lot of accessories.
Well, okay, they did come out with the new figure, the new Void Gomez, right, for that mech suit. So they might come out with like a new military style Gomez. That would be kind of sweet.
Yeah. So for me, I think 300 is what I would ideally like it to be. 350 is pushing it. I will not go any further than that because I've got a funny feeling this is going to be very Mezco exclusive. I don't think they're going to sell it.
If it's Rumble Society, it will be exclusive.
So I've got to.
I bet you limited run too.
For me to get this to the UK or something like that would easily be probably $150 shipping tag on top of it.
I think Mikey's even licensed to drive it.
Nah. I can drive anything.
That's the Mezco truck, which is similar to another truck that we'll be talking about soon. Along with that, Mezco also reveals a chopper bike, which I really like. I love chopper bikes. I've got the Punisher bikes somewhere.
I have it.
I do quite like this.
Yeah, the chopper looks clean. I forgot what they called this Gomez. So I'm gonna say this one's gonna come with the Gomez with a very similar price tag, man. Close to like 250, almost 300. It'll come with a Gomez, maybe a few interchangeable heads, a bunch of accessories, a motorcycle.
I think you're right because they released a Ghost Rider, didn't they, not too long ago? With
They did.
Like a Ghost Rider figure, and that was around 250. So I think this will be pretty much the same.
Yep. Yes,
I don't think the sculpt probably is a little bit different. There's probably quite a few differences in there, but I've got a feeling that the face of it all, like the body of the like the Gomez figure and things like that, and
might be basic.
Will look very similar to what they've already got tooled. So I think it'll be around the same price as the Ghost Rider bike that they put out somewhere, just minus the light up wheels, because I think that one had light up wheels, but I think maybe light up.
I was gonna say, I bet you that front headlight lights up.
I quite like the look of this. I'll definitely pick this up if I can.
I forgot about this one.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kelly?
I like it.
You made a motorcycle.
It'll be. I see a lot of detail that's going to be hard to pull off molding wise. So it'll be interesting to see. They've got it flattened here a little bit or whatever, but it'll be interesting to see how much of that detail.
Well, I think a lot of this was used in the Ghost Rider bike, maybe a majority of it. Like, they already have the tooling. They put out a lot. Yeah, so like maybe the frame is the same. The engine might be the same.
Okay, so they can just kind of add on.
They can. They'll be able to pull it off.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. I like it. I'm working on one right now for Big Fella. It's basically finished. I'm just waiting for the materials to print it to get here because I'm going to do soft tires. We're going to do real leather seats for them. And
one thing I do hope is they get the scale right because apparently from what I heard in the community, the Ghost Rider didn't fit quite well on his bike. So this one looks like it might fit better.
No, but I just screenshotted it from my phone and sent it to me right now. Hence why you can see all my apps on the bottom there. But judging just from the look of it, he's very squished, like not just the image, but from what I can tell, the figure, like his abs all crunched up. He's leaning quite forward on the one side.
To try
Can't
to
see the
make,
other side, obviously, but
yeah.
he's got like a bit of a twist in his leg there as well. So he's very scrunched up in there. So it'd be nice to see if what he might look like in a sort of like a riding pose, like where a bit more relaxed onto like he's actually riding.
I mean, he's probably gonna be leaning forward, reaching for those handlebars, but I think it should be.
I'd say it's a chopper, but it's not quite. I'd say it's more of a lean forward chopper. I had one of those
Right.
bikes so long ago when I had a Harley, but my Harley was proper handlebars weight there, so you were sat back instead of leaning
Yeah,
forward.
see. Imagine
Nice.
being that's what oh, never mind. Next. The Vanguard.
The Vanguard with Alaverse. So again, you can easily compare this to the previous Mezco that we showed off, and this is where I think this is quite price speculative because Val is offering this with quite a lot of accessories, a driver figure, and things like that, and he's doing it at the $184 mark or 185 if you want to count penny.
It's an interesting price tag.
I think it's great. I'm definitely picking up one of these, maybe two, because he's offering it in 2 different colours and it'll go well with what I've already got. So I do like Valaverse myself, so I'm biased in that sense. But
I really like what he's doing. And I like this a lot. I like the fact that it looks like it's customizable as far as paint and stuff. That looks like paint applications could go on it pretty easy. I love the details like the shovel and the winch. And I'll be interested to kind of see, what kind of electronics they have. Do they have the dash and the interior lights and stuff like that? That'd be interesting to see.
I can actually tell you this because I watched his live stream not long ago. It doesn't have electronics in it, but there is room to put some LEDs in. I think he did say if you take it apart. But as far as what I'm aware he's offering, it's basically you're going to get this as the base vehicle. You're also going to get a turret that sits a machine gun on the top, a shovel, 2 gas canisters, and a driver figure. The doors are removable, so I'm assuming he's got plans for some more door options in the future and things like that. And obviously you've got trailer hitches and things.
I think that removing the doors just makes it more like Humvee Jeep style,
Yeah, it's one thing I've seen. Is I've been watching a lot of military style videos lately, and sometimes they do remove the doors on the Jeeps.
Yeah. Or did he mention the modular? Anything about it being interchangeable? Not that I recall him ever even saying that, but
yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Pre-orders, I believe.
Like Kelly said, unique price tag. I like it. It looks similar to the Mezco one. The working winch is pretty cool. I'm surprised. I think if you go back, I think Mezco just has like a molded one, which if Valaverse can put a real winch, then people are gonna be like, "What's up, Mezco?" Like it's a little piece of rope and that little winch. But
I loved those things as a kid. I always used the winch on my G.I. Joe helicopter and stuff like that. Like that's cool. Just good play.
It is a fully working winch, by the way.
I've seen his videos, his prototype. I like what they're doing with the accessory packs and head packs and Bobby over there, Valaverse is doing some cool stuff. I think he also went to like a design school. He's kind of like on the same board as we are.
One instead of your guys when you went to the LA based one, I believe.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Congrats to him,
Last but not least, and we all know which one this is going to be. Oh no, sorry, not the last one. But I put this in here just for comparison.
Okay.
The HasLab Hiss tank. I've got one of these on the way whenever Hasbro decides to send it out.
So when was this? When did you pre-order this?
I backed it. I backed it day one when this thing. It got funded day one.
Which was?
I think it was
a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah. It was about a year and a half ago. Let's just
probably going on 2 years to his tank. I mean, for a big old Hasbro company going on 2 years, like god damn.
Yeah.
What was the price tag on it?
I believe it was $280 maybe. I'm just gonna pull up real quick.
Okay, yeah.
It's amazing looking.
It looks cool. The detail. Yeah, go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, I had the original one back in the 80s that I loved. And this one, looks even
But the one in the 80s was for the small figures, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this one's gonna fit the 6-inch figure line, right? The
Yep.
classified. I mean, it's
Yes.
big. It's
Right.
it's
So I'm
huge.
just going to
It's
see if it'll
yeah.
let me share the screen quick.
Weapons. I love the inclusion of the decals.
Yeah, I love
That's
the design of this.
that's something we haven't seen with the other two products that you showed previously.
Yeah. So hopefully this is working on screen. It's taking me off
Yeah,
the screen at the moment. So this was the classified
twenty-six
his tank.
thousand backers.
Yeah, this funded day one, and it got all of its tiers. So it's in British
Jeez.
pounds. So I'm sorry, guys, but it was 300 British pounds. Estimated shipping in fall 2023. So any,
Guys, we only need 1,500. Go, go, go.
yeah, it's, it unlocked its early bird, which was a his tank tactician. I think
I
this
saw a
had
figure,
a
right?
30-day window. Yeah, it ran from 29th of June last year to August last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it looks rad. The details are cool. It's big. I love the accessories. It probably has launching missiles. All four of those figures were unlocked?
Yes.
Damn.
So I think from memory serves, the first unlock was the missile system. They just tab in and you untap them and you just pretend you're firing
That
them.
top part, like
They're
the
not spring
turret
loaded or
gun.
anything like that, as well as these turrets that are hanging off the
All the
side
missiles.
and whatnot. Then the second unlock was the canopy window, which was this long window piece, as well as these two side pieces for the treads. They're believed for a callback to the original toy from the 80s, the original His Tank.
Mhm.
So that's what they were for. Um, I think it came originally with the red driver on the bottom left there. So the next unlock was the female driver
Damn.
and the female tactician. The
Definitely
early bird
feels G.I. Joe.
yeah, the early bird special was that black and red version, which was designed by Ron Rudat, who I
Yeah,
believe
that's
did a lot of
cool.
original sculpting and paintwork on G.I. Joe lines back in the day. And then the final tier was this retro Cobra Commander, and I believe the difference with this one is way back in the 80s or something like that, when G.I. Joe was still in 3 3/4 inch, there was a factory error where they printed a Mickey Mouse logo where his Cobra logo should be.
What?
And they put this on that figure. They put that logo on.
What?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Wow, I bet you that's worth a pretty penny.
Yeah.
I think it will be. I can already see. I've seen a few listings on eBay already. People are trying to sell
Wow.
this.
Mickey
these
Mouse
types of
G.I.
money.
Joe.
So that'll be interesting. And last but not least, which we all know is going to be the Ramen Racer.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Ramen Racer.
I've already bought one of these because I really like this car.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
It's almost like they were inspired by another vehicle. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, if you go like on his Facebook or his Instagram, you'll see like shots of like his test shots. It looks good, man. The chrome looks good. I would admit it looks good, but it looks like a generic Charger to me. It looks like a cool car, for sure. It looks like it could fit a blade. It looks like Fast and the Furious. The detail line looks cool. But it looks like it's meant to be what it is to be. Of course,
from the way he
anything.
markets this thing, you can do 4 different vehicles essentially, I believe, on just this model alone. Because he's also got one in orange to recreate the Dukes of Hazzard car.
Yeah.
Can I say that on YouTube, or is that still too controversial for
Yeah, it
anyone
might
to see?
be. Yeah.
I mean, no, it's cool. I like it. I mean, we talked to Ace in the beginning, maybe almost a year ago. Ace was he's a cool dude. I think we reached out to him, or I don't know how it was. I might have reached out to him just because he was like a small independent company, and I was trying to seek advice, mentorship, and I reached out to him, and he was making figures. He had a license with Super 7 already for some Silver Hawk line figures. He had a bunch of action figures going, and yeah, I kind of just reached out to him trying to actually even find quotes for like manufacturing, which was the basis of our conversation and our interactions. And we talked to him, and he actually wanted to help us produce our Bandido in the beginning, but we had just talked to kind of been burned by the community, and it would have been cool to go with him, but parts of the negotiation, or kind of he wanted to help us. He wanted to help us, yeah, make the tooling and help create the vehicle, but then wanted to use the body to produce his own car, which was, it's kind of like using, it was the concept what we're trying to go to, right? Like we're trying to give you a base, and then you can create your own car, and then we were trying to give you a canvas, so it was like giving him our product before making our product. It was, I don't know. We just didn't like, we didn't see eye to eye to terms, and he just kind of proceeded with his project, I guess,
Yeah.
with his version, and
Yeah.
he's making his Marvel Legends, his Ghost Rider version that looks like the Engine of Vengeance. It looks just like that one, so it was pretty cool with the updated chrome parts and lights. And then he has one that looks like the Fast and the Furious with the interchangeable hood and the blower, which is the same thing we're providing. Which was, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I think part of it, like Eddie says, is we had just been burned by the 112 garage, so we were really leery of working
Looks good though. It looks good. I like
anybody
it.
else. And the other thing was it would have required us to move our manufacturing to wherever his plant is. And we felt a certain amount of loyalty to Johnny, who
A
helped us
designer, yeah.
engineer this car. I mean, the guy's brilliant. And we know the kind of quality that he can do, and we weren't really sure of what Ace's vehicle would look like after being manufactured. And so there's just, it just wasn't the right fit for us. And
I didn't mention that Johnny had been working with us for about 2 years on the not the manufacturing, but the engineering, the lights. He had a lot of input in the car, and be like, oh, what if we make so cutting ties with Johnny, who was our connection to manufacturing, was kind of also like, we didn't want to just pull the rug from under him and be like, sorry, Johnny, we're gonna go with Ace and Ramen because, yeah. So
Absolutely. I mean, no shade to Ace. I mean, I love the Ramen Racer as well because
it looks good, man. It looks good.
Yeah.
I'm in for one. I might pick up another one maybe later down the line if it's still going about and I can get it in. But I think it's probably better if you guys did go for your own independence because I think that'll work out for you guys more in the long run. In the sense that, like, yeah, it'd be cool
Because
to have.
essentially it would have been like Odd Frog Entertainment presents the Chop Chop, brought to you by Ramen Toys. Like it would have been like,
Well, plus, and Johnny in China, he's pretty damn excited about this as well. So he's very communicative and has put forward his own ideas and doesn't seem to have any issues when we're like, hey, we want to change this because, the community voted,
Yeah, he
I
was
think
all
it's
for it,
exactly
making
right.
changes.
Probably definitely better for you guys that way because
We want to establish our own. We wanted to establish ourselves with our own products, our own manufacturing, our own independence, and
Well, we want to build a strong company, and we're not going to do that by kind of stabbing in the back the guy that helped us design it. And we got screwed over by the 112 garage, so we couldn't even pay him for months. We had to come up with the money and he stuck with
to pay
us.
that design,
we just wanted to stay loyal to him for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, the way I'm looking at it, just as an outsider on this, yeah, it would have been cool if you guys partnered up with Ace because I think that would have been.
We would have got it out sooner, a lot sooner. Yeah.
Sooner, probably at a very good quality as well. Not
for sure.
A good quality, but
no,
definitely
his looks good.
Interesting partnership, to say the least. But I think in the long term, Ace could have. I'm not saying Ace would do this, but he could have just took your design and carried on with it, and then that would minimize your guys' sort of branding in that sense. Because people will say, well, why should I go with Oddfrog when I know Ramen is doing the exact same thing and I can trust Ramen more?
Yeah.
Just I'm going to go for bat on just someone on.
No, I mean, I totally agree with you. Yeah, for sure. Like, why go with somebody you know nothing of when you can go with somebody who's licensed Super 7, Silverhawks, and is contracted with Transformers and has had booths at Con and I would definitely do the same thing. But as an entrepreneur and someone trying to yeah, we kind of just wanted to go our route and do our
Absolutely. I
own
think that'd
thing.
be probably the next best step for you guys in the sense of I love the fact that you guys come on live streams and again, greatly honoured that you come on not only my live stream but my very first live stream. So I'm hoping I'm doing okay. But
Yeah,
I think that'll be the next step for you guys is perhaps attending a local convention somewhere or maybe PowerCon or Joe Fest or something like that.
Yep.
that's why we're working on
Get you
3
guys out there
prototypes.
more. Yeah. So I think that'd be great for you guys to get yourselves out there more. I mean, I'd love to see it. I mean, I was planning on going Joe Fest in 2024 to go see like Valorous and all kinds of things like that. But because Valorous kind of dropped out, I still might go if everything works out okay. But I'd love to go and do another tour of America and perhaps see you guys at a convention, do a meetup.
Oh, it would be awesome
be
if you
cool.
could come.
It's definitely on the books. Hopefully for next year, depending on how things work out here. Because unfortunately, as I mentioned to Kelly before, I was moving to Japan, but my visa got denied.
What?
Oh,
So I can go over
Wow.
temporarily for 3 months, but then they're kicking me out.
Wow. That's kind of metal though. You're like kicked out of Japan.
I must not be a big enough weeb, even though I love anime.
They didn't like the way you said aluminium.
They heard you gave away the designs. They heard that you sold us the design rights to your mother-in-law. So
Yeah, I've got a feeling she probably went to the embassy at some point. But
no, this has been a great show, Andrew. We appreciate
man.
you having us on. Absolutely.
The more the better, you know.
guys, I mean, I'd love to have you guys on as much as I possibly can regularly at some point.
Well, we'd
So-
love to come back. Absolutely.
And I'd love to. I'm always in your guys' streams regardless. So really quick, what I'm going to do is I'll share the screen again just so we can get a nice little
Awesome.
round out here. Share screen. I do apologize, guys. I'm still figuring all this out. So
No
this is
problem.
your guys' websites. This is where you can find them. Link is also in the description for everyone. So this is directly to the store. It's fantastic layout, by the way, guys. I'm loving the vibrancy of the colors. But you can find the
Thank
Bandito
you.
here. It's still at your 185 price point, which
Yep.
absolutely you can click pre-order for it right there. As you guys mentioned before, you can pay if you want to right now, but also there is the option where you don't have to pay right now. You can pay later when it reaches its MOQ, which is minimum order
If you
quantity
pay
for
with
everyone.
PayPal, it's going to charge you upfront. If you pay
Yeah.
offline, if you make the pay offline option, that will secure your purchase with the pre-order. And then when we get our 1,500 units, you'll get an email from us with your invoice number and, basically an email explaining that we're going to tooling and you should have your car in 155 days.
Absolutely. And then you've also got some merch along the way, or if you've already got it, like you got some hats here, which look really dope. I'm not really a snapback guy. I'm more of a beanie guy, as you can tell. But
Yeah, you and me are
I'll
beanie guys,
probably-
Andrew, but Eddie can rock it. Eddie and Mikey can rock them.
I like the flex fit.
Yeah.
I got a big head. And also,
Ironically,
our YouTube page has a ton of videos. So
That's right.
you guys
Yeah.
their YouTube. I think
Yep.
I'm also on as well. Let me see if I can screen share that. Screen share. Yep, here we go. You can find the Oddfrog channel as well. You're sitting at a nice crisp 321 subscribers so far with 92 videos. And you guys
I feel like we should have more than that.
We're getting there.
fairly often now.
Some of those videos get
Well, good view
quite a
streams
bit
now.
of views, but
Any views is good views. I mean, I appreciate
yeah.
even one view these days.
Well, these are
you can
live
also find you
streams.
guys-
Like these are the newest live streams where I'm just drawing.
yeah.
If you go to the videos, there you go. Yeah, we get more than that.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Absolutely, plenty of videos. Even talk about
information,
ramen.
content side. Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm pretty sure. Not sure what you got in the about section here, but a little bio for you guys where you can find out for you guys yourself, their links and things like that. But
Yeah.
That's us.
absolutely, and it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys on here. We're an hour and 20 minutes here, you guys. So I don't know if you guys want to stay on any longer, or if you guys have to go at all. I don't mind. Just call it.
I basically have to go back to working on the comic book like every spare minute that I have. So I'll probably let you guys go, but real pleasure to be on, Andrew. You know, you're one of our great friends of what we're trying to do here. So we always we'd come back anytime you want us, bro. We really appreciate you having us come on.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm hoping to make this stream semi-regular. Again, this is just like my debut, as they say.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute honor having you guys. So I'm going to try and make it fairly regular. I'm not sure what I'm going to call the show at all. I'm going to toy around with some names. I'm also going to toy around with days on the stream. I do like the idea of it being a Sunday show because not many people have things to do on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be an ideal day for you guys. Now, I apologize speaking here.
Hang out.
Dog has decided to be an attention seeker. But
well, yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Absolutely. So, as always, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Check out the Odd Frog guys and back the Bandito.
Thanks for hearing us out, guys. Appreciate it.
You can see right in the banner there. Back the Bandito. They need to get to 1,500. They will absolutely smash it. And
yep,
I'll be absolutely looking forward to getting one of those things in my hands soon.
Appreciate it, man.
Get on the ground level, man.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right, you guys. I'm going to end the stream here.
Thank you.